Hi everyone. So today I'll be doing my Bath and Body Works Candle Day 2025 haul. I've been going the last 4 or 5 years or so, and I always bring along my sister. She and I work remotely from home, so I just need to wake her up. The store that I go to, it's always the same one just because I know which door opens. It has happened before where they say they open at one time, but then they open up earlier or later. But anyways, so this time I tried to wake up at 3, but I ended up waking up closer to 3:30. I got my sister up. So my store is located normally with traffic. There's always traffic around LA and it's about 45 minutes away, but I guess that early there's only about 30 minutes or so. So we did get there before the store opened, and surprisingly, I was person number 3, my sister was person number 4. And it was just very calming compared to other years. I tried one year to go after work and it just didn't work out. It was way too crowded. The line was like over an hour long. So always getting there early is fun. We ended up going to Walmart, and it's right by another Bath and Body Works, a standalone store not located in a mall. And they had one candle that the mall store did not have, which is a White Barn Bath and Body Works combo, and that is the Delight candle. I did not get that for obvious reasons, just because I don't like dill or like stuff that smell like onions. They had the pink and the green one. So maybe if I was more of a collector, I would have picked it up. But yeah, that one just smelled kind of bad. It reminded me, you know what? It reminded me a lot of the McDonald's Grinch meal, that onion powder or dill powder that they give you. It smelled very similar to that. To the right, we have my sister's items. So I'll show you that in a little bit, just because we tend to get similar scents because we have the same preferences. I'll also show you some candles, but to briefly go over the candles that I smelled but passed up on, I wasn't going for any of perfumey type candles. So that means no to Dark Kiss, Japanese Cherry Blossom, anything like that. I also don't really care for the spring candles that were out. I don't like mint, but I feel like that, was it buttermint? That one was pretty nice. It was very creamy. Peppermint marshmallow, I have burned that maybe 5 years or so ago when I got it. Didn't enjoy it. I just, again, I don't really care for peppermint scents. Another candle that I almost got was Snow Day. I feel like it reminds me a lot of a candle that Slacken & Co. back when they were affiliated with Bath and Body Works would come out with. Borderline, I think maybe there's a Homeworks candle that smells very similar. What's another scent? So later in the second store, my sister really liked the one ingredient candles. I don't know what they're called, but she really liked cinnamon. She liked lavender. The vanilla one was good. And she liked lemon, of course. We both like lemon. So I think we'll only get that one if it goes down to 75% off during the semi-annual sale. And another candle. Oh, I really thought that when people were saying that was it chips and salsa and like the other one smelled bad, I thought it was going to be similar to the Rome Pizzeria candle, but it's not. I feel like the Rome Pizzeria candle was better because it smelled more authentic to pizza, but I think it had some other ingredient that just made it smell kind of bad. But the pizza aspect of that candle smelled nice. Okay, let me go on to the bag. So I initially had some problems applying a coupon, and then later, lo and behold, I got home, checked my receipt and checked my bag. I was trying to use an expired coupon. I'm like, well, obviously, girl, it's not going to work. So I ended up using the one in my app and it was okay. I got a total of 15 candles, candle day price $9.95. I had a $10 off 40. Unfortunately, I didn't have a percentage off coupon, which is always like the golden ticket to get. 15 candles, that makes my subtotal, let's see, $139.29 with state tax of $13.58. My total came out to $152.83. Again, this is my bag, and then the other one is for my sister. So my sister got, I believe, 6 candles. What was I saying? Yeah, so I think I could have gone more, and I didn't use any gift cards because I had a bad experience with trying to use a $50 gift card, I believe, and I think they said it was already used up or it was blank, and I was kind of sorry out of luck. So ever since then, I haven't been purchasing, because essentially if I'm out money, I'm basically out 40 or 50 bucks depending on the sale. But let's get into the candles that I picked up. I really liked this collection with the waffle cone type lids. The first one is Neapolitan ice cream. This one, however, did smell, I think, the lightest out of the bunch. I didn't get the butterscotch one, but that one did smell good, but it smelled a lot like other candles that I've had in the past early on in my Bath and Body Works journey. So here's how the inside looks like: creamy white wax. This one, the fragrance notes are strawberry sauce, vanilla buttercream, milk chocolate, $27.95. So this one, I really like that it has all of the, not flavors, but I guess flavors that you would find in a Neapolitan ice cream. I like it that I can smell the strawberry. It's not a fresh strawberry, it's definitely sauce. And there's something that makes this smell cooling or icing without it being like stereotypical winter air or like eucalyptus or anything. Yeah, I really like it. The only thing is that it is a little bit light, but overall I really like this candle. It reminds me a little bit of a candle from 3 or 4 years ago. I believe it's called Ice Cream Bar, but this one, I feel like the name, it's spot on. So there is the first candle, another candle from that collection. I really debated whether or not to get this one, Gummy Candies, because it smells very similar to this other candle that I'll show in a bit. Pineapple gummy candy, lemon juice, sugar sprinkles, $27.95. Again, really like this. I'm going to keep at least 2 of these, or maybe use them as coasters, because I love coasters where they're not ceramic or anything. All right, so this one is pretty strong, and the one that I wanted to show you that I think it reminds me of, because I just finished burning it a little bit, I feel like it smells similar but not identical to this limited edition collection, the Limoncello Unicorn Sprinkles. It reminds me a little bit of the family of raspberry whipped vanilla, if I'm remembering that correctly. It smells similar, but obviously this one has slightly more emphasis on the lemon note, but this one still has this gelatinous smell to it without it feeling like that cola candy candle that came out, Ice Cream Float, where that one, it smelled, to me at least, Haribo gummies, but it also smelled kind of plasticky. And this one legit smells like gummy worms or gummy bears. Really like that. That's actually one of my favorite candies. All right, so another one I had to pick this up. I finished burning through my stash years ago. We have the return of blueberry sugar. Love this candle. It's very artificial, very candy-like. Sweet blueberries, brown sugar, graham cracker crust. So again, I don't know why it says graham cracker crust, but oh, you know what? Yeah, I get it a little bit, but I focus mainly on the sweet blueberries and the sugar. It's very sweet. I don't know if you're sensitive to like, or if you don't like artificial candy scents, if you'll enjoy it, but if you love blueberry and if you love candy fragrances, that would be great. So my sister was kind enough to let me borrow her Land of Sweets blueberry sugar, and this was the last time, at least if I'm remembering it correctly, that blueberry sugar came out. So beautiful packaging, lower price point, $24.50. So this one last came out 2019, I believe. Sweet blueberries, brown sugar, graham cracker crust with essential oils. So yeah, here's how they look like side by side. Obviously, I like this packaging a lot more. Yeah, so I unfortunately burned mine and I didn't get a backup because back in the day, I was just basically buying the candles that I was going to burn that year. So I think for the most part, they smell pretty much the same. If anything, I feel like the new version has a little bit more of like a brighter blueberry scent, but overall smells pretty similar. That is it for the first layer. Let's go on to the second layer. So I have quite a few backups. Oh, I guess I got another blueberry sugar, which makes sense because I really like that one and I didn't want to do that same mistake of just buying one. Then we have, this is the one that I wasn't too sure of, but I figured I'd get it because it was limited edition. At least I've also heard that stores only got like 1 or 2 crates of this. Coffee and donuts, $25.95. Oh, I hate these stories. A rainy Saturday with a warm French toast and a glazed donut pastry. I'm not sure if this is a repackage of something, but there's a note in here that I don't particularly care for. I don't know if it's coming from the coffee or from the donut, but this is definitely not Paris Cafe. I think if you like Paris Cafe, you might not necessarily like this one. The coffee feels a little bit plain and kind of dark roast, you know, like 7-Eleven coffee. And yeah, there's almost like a little bit of like a hint of cinnamon in here. So I don't know if it's a cinnamon donut or a glazed donut. Yeah, but those are just my quick thoughts right off the top of my head. The last two or the last four candles are duplicates, and I'm so happy that I got them. Oddly enough, I really liked popcorn and slushy. I feel like it's because of the slushy. It reminds me of a blue raspberry slushy. So this one, $25.95, a movie marathon with a blue raspberry slushy and a large buttered popcorn. My dog is crying again. Ugh, I had him tied up for a little bit as my sister and I were at Bath and Body Works. Oh, so the wax is blue. I was a little bit worried about this candle because there was a candle maybe about 3 years or so ago. It came out in yellow packaging. I think it was called buttered popcorn, something like that. Feel free to correct me. And that one was super heavy on the butter, like movie theater butter, we're talking. This one is predominantly, to my nose, a blue raspberry slush scent with a hint of butter. So I think that if you wanted to buy this to mainly be a buttered popcorn scent, I think while you do get it, the blue raspberry kind of takes over. I like it that it smells a little bit not necessarily like a 7-Eleven slushy, but legit the I forgot, it's a panda. Or no, it's not a panda. It might be a polar bear, where it's like you get the red one or you get the blue one. This one's the blue one. So I really enjoyed this one. So of course I had to get another one because I don't know, I feel like this collection's going to sell out relatively quickly. And again, I didn't care for the other candles in the collection. But okay, the one that I was really surprised about, it was on my list and I do enjoy cherry scents, but glazed cherries is like really nice on cold. So this one, $27.95, scent notes, glazed cherries, orange lemon twist, vanilla cream. I I feel like it later bothers me that this is off-centered, but that's beside the point. And this lid completely does not match with this label, but okay. So in the store, I feel like I picked up more on that creamy cherry note. But right now, I'm getting a heavier emphasis on the orange lemon combo. It's smelling a little bit like those Flintstones orange creamsicle push pops. But at the same time, it's almost like you have that, but you also add a splash of like fizzing orange soda. The cherry note is definitely there. It doesn't smell like a dark cherry. It reminds me of the Cherries Jubilee a little bit from Baskin Robbins, but despite the fact that the orange note is more present now than it was in the store, I still really enjoy it. So here is the first one. And then the last candle of my haul is a backup of glazed cherries. So really enjoyed my candles. Again, I think my least favorite one would have to be coffee and donuts. I don't know if, I don't know, will I keep it? Will I not? We'll see. But yeah, it's just this note that's slightly off. So if I think about it too much, it bothers me. But if not, then it's okay. All right, so that is it for my bag. Let me just kind of push this out the way. And let me quickly go over my sister's bag. So normally my sister only gets about 1 or 2 candles. So I was surprised that she got 6. But I got this for her. I'm considering all the candles that I'm gifting her an early Christmas gift. Okay, so she got Hot Fudge Drizzle from that collection, and that was the first one that she got. So rich melted chocolate, vanilla bean, dash of brown sugar, $27.95. And again, this color combination doesn't match, but I really like the waffle cone. White wax. So this one smells a lot like melted fudge, like Hershey's fudge. And the reason why I didn't pick up Hot Fudge Drizzle, despite really loving chocolate candles that Bath and Body Works puts out, is because I have about 1 or 2 left of this Hot Fudge Drizzle candle when it came out. Let's see, when did it come out? 2022. See, old price of $24.50. Rich melted chocolate, vanilla bean, a dash of brown sugar. So here is a quick side-by-side comparison. Of course, I like the older version. This one it actually smells about the same in terms of strength intensity. The only difference is that the old version reminds me a little bit more of a powdered chocolate, similar to how hot cocoa and cream has a heavy emphasis on like a cocoa mix type smell. This one smells more like legit fudge or like chocolate sauce, versus this one, I feel like I get more of the powder. So this one has more similarities, in my opinion, to hot cocoa and cream. So that's just a quick comparison. So she got that one. I ended up skipping it, but hindsight being 2020, maybe I would have changed coffee and donuts for a hot fudge drizzle, because I quickly looked at my collection and I don't think I have it. But anyways, she also really enjoyed glazed cherries, which I was surprised that she ended up getting because she normally doesn't. I don't know, she's okay with cherries, but they're not a fave. I'm not reading the scent notes because a lot of these are duplicates. She, oddly enough, also got coffee and donuts. I need to ask her later on if she smells something off to her nose, but I also don't want to plant that in her mind. And she also really enjoyed popcorn and slushy. To her nose, I believe the chips, was it the chips and salsa? I think it was the chips and salsa candle that, or one of them, it smelled like tomatoes in the garden instead of salsa, or was it the pepperoni? I don't know, but she also really didn't like the other candles in the cartoony collection. And then she was really happy to get Neapolitan ice cream. And I think she was the one that first pointed out that there's like this cool chill note that I don't know how they put it in here. But I think this was one of her favorites. I really hope that burns well because it does smell a bit light. And then she also got gummy candies. So I think the reason why she got this one is because she recently finished up limoncello, limoncello plus unicorn sprinkles. And she said they smell kind of similar, and she doesn't have the one on the left anymore. But it does smell slightly different. I feel like a lot of candles that Bath and Body Works has been bringing back out have been like older scents with slight tweaks. So this reminds me of that unicorn sprinkles DNA. So yeah, that is everything that my sister and I picked up. Overall, I think it was a pretty successful candle day. Again, I think I didn't mention this earlier, but there was a commemorative Candle Day 2025 candle in Sun Ripened Raspberry. But honestly, I didn't like how that smelled. It almost gave me a little bit of like of a super in your face floral scent, and I just did not like it. I remember Sun Ripened Raspberry used to smell more fruity, but for some reason it smelled more perfumey in my opinion. But yeah, that is everything that we picked up. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy Candle Day 2025, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.